multi-step equations part 2, and I have 3 examples here for you that involve more than 2 steps, so they're a little more complex than the ones that we just checked out. Okay, clearly for this one we want to solve for q, and it's got some fractions in it. So one thing that people look to do first is just get a common denominator. That is possible, you can do that. We're going to use 15, so let's multiply everything by what we need to multiply by. So we've got q over 15 minus 3/15 equals, and then we're also going to multiply these by 3 over 3. So 9 over 15. And then we can go ahead and solve this. Once everything's in common denominator form, there is one thing that you can do. Since the bottoms are all the same, you can actually just take this piece right here and solve that. So q minus 3, I just brought that symbol up. Q minus 3 equals 9. You can actually just solve that. So q minus 3 equals 9, and then all we have to do is add 3 to both sides. And we get q equals 12. And that is one option there. The other way you could do that is you don't have to just use the tops. We can still go our route of, okay, we've got minus 3/15, so we'll do the opposite. We'll add 3/15. Okay, so negative 3/15 plus 3/15 will cancel. We're left with q over 15 equals, so 9 plus 3, we got a common denominator, 12/15. And there we go, we can see that q is going to have to equal 12 in this instance. The way that you could show that is, since q is being divided by 15, I could multiply by 15, since 15 divided by 15 will cancel, and this times 15 will also give us this, and q will still equal 12. That's one way that we can do that. There is one way that you can do this by clearing the fraction as well, where you look at all of your denominators. So if you like to get rid of fractions, we'll talk a little bit more about this in class, but find the least common multiple, meaning what could I turn all these into? Well, the least common multiple between these numbers is 15. So if I multiply through by 15, each term by 15, sounds kind of weird, but go with me on this. And I'm going to do 15 over 1. Okay, I'm going to multiply everything by 15. Alright, so if we go each term here, so now I look at, okay, 15 and 15 cancel because we're multiplying, so that's 15 over 15, so we're just left with 1q, or q over 1, right? And then 15 and 5, since we're multiplying, I can divide both of these by 5. So 3 times 1 over 1 times 1. And then same thing here, I can divide by 5, and I get 3 times 3 over 1 times 1, or 3 times 3, which is 9, and then we get the same problem that we got before, and q will still equal 12. So that's another option, another route. A lot of people like that because they don't like fractions, and they like to clear them. I'll talk with you more about that in class. Lastly, these 2 examples. The only thing you have to watch out for here is there's some terms that you can combine first. For instance, 2a and negative 8a. So 2a plus negative 8a over 2a minus 8a is negative 6a. We still have a plus 3 hanging out, equals 8. And then we go ahead and solve this just like we normally would at this point. So subtract 3 on both sides, and we're left with negative 6a equals 5. So we're not going to get a very nice answer here, which is okay. Since a is being multiplied by negative 6, we divide by negative 6 on both sides. So a equals negative 5/6. And you can actually go back in and check that to make sure that it works. Alright, So just know that there are multiple ways to solve these problems, but you're going to take and distribute. This is what most students would do. They would distribute that. So it's 4 times x, and then 4 times minus 2 is 8, plus 2x equals 40. And then you want to combine what you can combine. So we have 4x plus 2x, or 4x's plus 2x's is 6 total x's. Still have a minus 8. And now we can solve this like we had before. Add 8 to both sides. Always look to add or subtract something over first. We're left with 6x equals 48. And then we will divide by 6 on both sides, since we're multiplying x by 6. And x will equal 8. Like I said, multiple ways to solve these. We'll talk about different options in class. So these aren't the say-all ways to do this. There are many different ways you can do it. We'll talk about different options in class.